What do makeup channels and fishing channels have in common? Not a whole lot, really. But here's the thing. If you consider yourself a YouTube creator, you should check out other channels where they're doing creating also. You might be surprised at what you can pick up just by watching somebody else's content. It doesn't have to be directly related to your subject area for you to learn something. And also, you never know what will inspire you to do something different. Something that might be unique and creative that you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. So keep in mind, you never know where inspiration can come from. So recently I've gotten a lot of support from makeup channels for my channel due to the small YouTubers kind of coming together. I'm always appreciative of support from anyone, but I kind of struggled a little bit with the makeup channels simply because A, I don't wear makeup. B, I have a beautiful wife and a very beautiful daughter, and neither one of them actually wear makeup. So I know if you're seeing my wife in this picture, you're thinking, oh my gosh, how much older is he than she is? It's not like that at all. Actually, we started dating when she was 16 and I was 17 years old. And we've been together for a really long time, and she has aged a whole lot better than I have. So because they're supporting me, I've supported them and I've watched their content. And what I found is that they are very creative and they do a lot of unique things. And you never know what might inspire you to do something unique. So I was asking a lot of the YouTube makeup channels about clear fingernail polish. And I didn't ask everybody that's on this list. I went through and asked a few, and I kept seeing the same answer over and over again. And the reason I was asking about that is because clear fingernail polish is actually a nitrocellulose lacquer, which used to be used a long time ago for building rods. And some people still use it today if they're building traditional rods out of fiberglass sometimes and bamboo. So occasionally I actually use clear fingernail polish to put finish on threads on something that I might want to redo later, or it might be something that I'm just experimenting with. So what I'll do is use that because it's so much easier to get off than epoxy is. Once you put epoxy on there, it's a little more difficult to get it off. You can still do it, but it's tougher. But with the nitrocellulose lacquer, you can use a little acetone to soften it up and take the wraps back off and start all over again. So what I was doing was trying to get information as to who makes the best clear top coat for fingernails. And I wanted to do a video as kind of a dedication to the makeup channels that have supported me. I wanted to do something for them. What was recommended most often was Sally Hansen Hard as Nails. And it's a clear top coat, and it's actually pretty good stuff. It's thick and it seems to be pretty durable. So what I decided to do was use the Sally Hansen product and do a hook keeper on a rod just to see how it turned out. And I was happy with the results. And the hook keeper I decided to do something a little different with, because I'd always had this idea in the back of my mind that, you know, I do a lot of drop shot fishing, so I was thinking there's got to be a way to incorporate something to clip the line onto the rod where the drop shot sinker is. So if I could incorporate that into a hook keeper, I'd have something that was pretty unique. So I had thought about this idea previously and never did anything with it. And I felt inspired to do something different to help with the makeup channels, maybe get them a little support because they supported my channel. So it inspired me to do something unique, and what I came up with actually worked pretty well, and I think it's given me an even better idea, and I will do a future project on that and upload it and everything. But I just wanted to say thank you to the makeup channels for inspiring me to try something different. So you never know where inspiration is going to come from. Don't discount other channels just because they're not your regular content. Go check them out, and if you like what you see, you know what to do. And don't forget to turn on the notifications either. So here's a little footage of the way this hook keeper works. And like I said, it gave me an idea for something I think will work even better. So I was inspired to do something that I had been putting off, and actually came up with an even better idea in the process. Okay guys, here's this hook keeper and I've seen some that were made similar to this on this end, but I've never seen one with this area on this end. What this allows you to do is to clip the line underneath this end of the hook keeper. In this case, I was putting this on an ultralight rod, and it's a very tiny one. You can see this is my pinky for reference. This is a very small rod, and this is at the butt of the rod. You can see the grip here. So this is a extremely small rod, and I think my idea that came from this design that I'm going to be doing later on will actually work better on a larger rod than it would on this one. So I'm going to leave this one as it is for now. But you can see the Sally Hansen product is on here, and again, it's called Hard as Nails, and it makes a good finish over the threads where this is wrapped onto the rod blank. It seems to be pretty durable. I don't think I'm going to have any trouble with it, and I'm probably just going to leave it as is for right now. But let me show you a little bit about how this hook keeper actually works. Okay, I actually do a lot of ultralight drop shot fishing, and as you can see, this soft plastic worm here is extremely tiny, and it's very lifelike in the water. You can see how much it's wiggling just from my hand shaking a little bit. And this is a number 8 Aberdeen hook. That's a real common setup I use. I've actually caught nice sized bass off of these small hooks. It works really well with an ultralight setup because it doesn't take much of a hook set at all for these hooks to penetrate really deep. They're very tiny hooks, and they're needle sharp on the point. They pierce very easily, and this is a good setup even if you're catching larger fish on an ultralight. This setup doesn't require the backbone of a heavy rod to get a good hook set. So that's just a tip there in case anybody was wondering about using setups this small and actually catching larger fish. It does work quite well, but you need the right kind of hooks. Okay, now just for reference here, I'm going to show you how this hook keeper works. So your hook keeper would work just like a normal hook keeper. You just put the point of the hook through the keeper. What's different about this hook keeper though is that if you're fishing a drop shot, which since this is ultralight, I'm just using a tiny split shot as my dropper weight. This will allow you to clip the line underneath this hook keeper just by pulling it under like that, and that will actually get your sinker out of the way. Because a lot of times what happens when you're using a spinning reel like this one here, you've got that weight dangling down even though your hook's in a keeper, and if you need to tighten it up a little bit, this little bit of extra weight will wrap itself around the line and cause you some grief. But if you can clip it up out of the way like this, that gets your drop shot out of the way, and it holds really well. You can see I'm shaking it here. It's not going anywhere. And another thing about this particular style hook keeper is if you're using a Texas rig, something like this shape on the hook keeper end itself will actually allow you to leave the hook embedded in the soft plastic, because you know the more often this hook point comes in and out of the soft plastic, the quicker it's going to wear it out. So with this shape of hook keeper, you can just hang the hook on it just like that and leave it embedded in the soft plastic, and it won't give you any problems. So that's another benefit to this shape of a hook keeper as opposed to one that's just a small loop or a small arch. So anyway, like I was saying, this was just a test run, and I came up with an idea that's going to be even better. I just can't put it on this small of a rod, or I guess I could, but it'd be a little bulky. So what I'm going to do is come up with a new, slightly different design. Part of it will be real similar to this, and part of it will be a little different. There'll be an additional part to it, and I will have that uploaded sometime, hopefully here soon. Just a little bit different setup, but it should work really well on slightly larger rods, and it should really get your line out of your way too. Some of you can probably already figure out where I'm going with that, but I'm going to leave that for another video before I get into too much depth with it. But I just wanted to show you that by simply checking out content you would normally check out, and people are supporting each other that wouldn't normally support each other, use it. Use it to your advantage. Learn something new. Think about things a different way. Reach out to people that you wouldn't normally reach out to, and I think you'll benefit from it like I have. You don't know where your inspiration is going to come from next, so don't limit yourself. Open yourself up, take a look around and see what you might find out there. Take care everybody, and tight lines.